All right, folks. On this video, I'm just going to let you guys know from the start, we need to talk about YouTube. We need to talk about YouTube from the standpoint of a content creator, making money on YouTube, monetization, subscriber counts, view counts, the changes to the algorithm, as well as updates to the community guidelines, and also guns. Yes, glorious guns. Handguns, pistols, rifles, ARs, AKs, you name it, we need to talk about it as far as what's happening with guns, not only with laws being passed and legislation and overstepping of boundaries by the ATF, but also when it comes to YouTube and, of course, how they tie together as a YouTube content creator making YouTube videos for their channels that include guns, as well as not to exclude the viewers who enjoy this content and want to continue seeing more of it, and ultimately how that may or may not necessarily continue to happen in the future. And by all means, for any and everyone who's interested in guns, the Second Amendment rights, gun channels, gun content from a gun pro, gun friendly creator, as well as YouTube content creation, making money, growing channels, etc. By all means, welcome. Please stick around. Please comment down below and also give this video a like and subscribe. Now, I got a lot I want to cover here, and I want to address one particular event that has happened here recently, Louisville, Kentucky, and this wasn't a school, but this is in response to the VSO gun channel and a video that he just put up. Congress has no idea on pistol braces, and listening to some complete idiot talking about pistol braces and stabilizers, which is under attack by the ATF, who's blatantly misused their power and authority. But either way, according to a headline that I saw, I did not read the full story, but it says that his manifesto was included how he wanted to prove to the world how someone with mental health problems, how easy it would be for them to buy a gun, buy an AR-15. So just putting that out there, okay? I really want to address the actual problem here, because I will quote one of the comments that I received on my video about that particular incident, and it was that I've used a lot of guns in my life, and none of them were violent. So I want everyone to be aware that harm could be caused by a variety of different things. Harm could be caused by people and their hands. Think about it. Let's just pick two people in the world, in history, that could potentially be the most deadly people of all time. Bruce Lee and Mike Tyson. They don't need guns. They don't need guns. I'm sure there's some MMA fighters out there. They don't need guns. Okay. Scientists. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget about the scientists. They don't need guns either. You remember that? You remember that? How could we forget? Pharmaceutical companies. They don't need guns. Cigarette companies, manufacturers. They don't need guns. Who else we got? Food processing companies. Salmonella. They don't need guns. So I just wanted to kind of put it out there. It's just that there is a continuous misrepresentation of the actual problem. And I want to pull this up so I can share it with you guys accurately. I don't know everybody's names. but I know who they are. Okay. So Taryn Butler, I pulled this up, Taryn Butler, and I believe, yes, champion shooter. He's a champion shooter. And I would be willing to bet that he could probably do more harm with a 2011 pistol, not an AR, not an AK-47, not a rifle, not, no pistol brace or stabilizer brace added. He could probably do more harm with that than anyone ever. Yet, for some reason, the pushback by the ATF and Congress and lawmakers and legislation now is against AR-15s, assault rifle 15. I don't know where that came from. And lumping AK-47s into the mix, but at the end of the day, this then gets further manipulated and misconstrued by the media playing into this. But VSO, I got to talk about VSO, the VSO gun channel. From a creator standpoint here, folks, if you make gun related content for YouTube and you're still monetized at this point today, April 21st, 2023, I would expect that would be short-lived. I would imagine that changes and updates in the community guidelines, policies, and the monetization program requirements, and in relation to advertisers that are obviously heavily persuaded by the left, that's going to be short-lived. And if you're not demonetized, your CPM and RPM are ultimately going to suffer as a result. Therefore, it will be almost as good as being demonetized. In addition to the subscriber count, whereas there was a point in time where subscriber count actually mattered, and it had some actual indication of how many views you could potentially receive on your videos, but that has since changed. And that change I can see on VSO Gun Channel, where he has 310,000 subscribers. And his last video, 15 hours ago, has 18,000 views. 4 days ago, 12,000 views. 7 days ago, 11,000 views. 10 days ago, 4,000 views. 2 weeks ago, 5,500 views. 2 weeks ago, 31,000 views. And if I were to just scroll through and scan and give you my opinion on his best video, his last best performing video, I think it would have to be, let's see here. Okay. I'm not going to scroll too far down here, but I'm going to stop with 2 months ago, 72,000 views, trying to profit from ATF pistol brace rule change. That was 2 months ago, 72,000 views, 31,000 or 310,000 subscribers. So on my math, that is a little over 20% views to sub ratio. Therefore, at 310,000 subscribers, 10% would be 31,000 views. 20% would be 62,000 views. And he received 72,000, so we're a little over 20%. Now, there was a point in time where most people would probably say that, 30% was probably the number. The VSO Gun Channel, I think, is a poor example for that because the gun channels were being suppressed, no pun intended, and shadow banned earlier than others. And now we're seeing it even more, especially as you are speaking against the objective narrative that the platform would prefer be pushed. The platform is very, very concerned about misinformation, no doubt. I think that's a big problem. I think there's a big problem with misinformation, but I think the problem with misinformation is that people are generally lazy, stupid, ignorant, and have very short attention spans to actually really sit and try to better understand and educate themselves on the facts and also form their own opinions versus just accepting one that was given to you. Funny how that works. Funny how that works. But they're going to silence these gun channels. They're going to silence other channels. And although the platform is against misinformation, I think it's for, I'm going to make up this word. I think the platform is for uninformation. Because there's a ton of valuable information on the platform that never gets seen. Now, granted, they get views, but they never get millions of views. They never go viral. They never get seen. And in my opinion, it's just as bad as misinformation. On one hand, you got a bunch of people running around here, spouting off at the mouth, talking about shit that they don't know nothing about, repeating things incorrectly, further perpetuating this game of telephone only till it gets to the end and nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. But they'll believe it as gospel because such and such said it. But that's almost as bad on one hand as, hey, there's a bunch of information here that could actually help the people and improve the situation and make life generally better for most. Yeah, let's make sure those don't get any views. Let's make sure those don't get any views. And let's keep the misinformation down. And we're only going to push and promote what we want. Who's lobbying for YouTube? Who knows the answer to that? Who's lobbying for YouTube? Who's Google's largest advertisers? What's their political agenda? What's their motive? But the VSO Gun Channel, he's already moved on to Rumble and other platforms, which, again, a headline or a comment that I read somewhere stating now that Rumble's deleting creators. I don't know if there's any truth to that. If you guys have any real factual based information behind that, I'd love to know if there's any actual real truth to that. But YouTube, the official YouTube blog. So this is blog.youtube. Let's see here, blog.youtube/news and events. It's a very long email or URL, but it's the YouTube official blog. And I'm going to share with you what this official blog has to say. And I want you guys to understand what this means on the bigger picture, the bigger, broader scale. When it comes to YouTube, what they're doing, what they're planning, what they're preparing for, what's going to happen in the future, and how you as a creator may or may not necessarily belong or even have the ability to be visible on the platform moving forward. And I myself am included on this channel. I have multiple channels, so on this channel, I may be included. However, I feel as though I do have a pretty good sense about what's going on and what's happening, and I'm preparing myself for it. And in doing that, I'm really hoping, ironic, crazy, after receiving that plaque in the mail for my wife's channel that she has grown, and we have all helped each other in achieving these success stories, building audiences, communities, networks, families. But my goal is actually to lower my subscriber count. Let me explain. The VSO Gun Channel has 310,000 subscribers. But if he only averages, let's just say 5 or 10,000 views a video, let's just say it's 10,000. What are the other 300,000 subscribers watching? What are they seeing? What are they being shown? Odds are they're not being shown the VSO Gun channel's content. Because if they didn't want to watch it, they wouldn't still be subscribed to it. But they ultimately don't unsubscribe from it because they don't even know it's still there, because YouTube doesn't show it to them. And this is going to be a problem. It's going to be a growing problem that content creators are going to face here, that they've already been facing for weeks, months. There's another website, support.google, for YouTube help, and there's a community tab. There's a reoccurring theme here. This was posted March 1st, 2023. I've got 1,000 to 5,000 views on shorts, but suddenly I do not get any views on my new shorts. I generally get 1 to 5,000 views on shorts, but suddenly views drop to 1 to 2. I believe 1 to 2 views, not 1 to 2,000. I check community guidelines and update my channel according to the community guidelines, but still I am not getting any views. So please guide me for that. Is there any issue or not with my channel? Another one, March 2nd, 2023. Issue with deducted views. Hello, I'm the author of the Macrae channel. Views are deducted from my video clip, and some of them are advertising. I ask you to check and come back with an answer. Thanks. February 28th, 2023. Views are very less on my video because YouTube is not feeding my video. All my videos are not feeding by YouTube. Please feed all my videos so that we can increase our views. March 1st, 2023. Why am I not getting any views on my videos? When I started my channel, it was great. Suddenly, my views has been stopped. I did nothing wrong or something extra from previous things. Still, I am doing the same way uploading the video, but don't know what's happening. Need your suggestion. Now, the reason why I didn't read you the answers and the responses and the replies from YouTube is because I wanted to go through all of those first, because the response is the same. From the platinum product expert Dragonair, the answer is this can happen. View counts can slow down or even seem frozen as we verify they are real from humans and not computer programs. This is part of how our system works to make sure we're counting views correctly. Here's how video views are counted. There's a link and more info on what might seem like frozen views. If you want the most up-to-date view count, you should use YouTube Analytics. The real-time report only shows estimates of potential view activity and might not match the number you see on the watch page. Hope this helps clarify. Well, it's a generic answer. And it actually does hold some weight because, in my opinion, with the advent and rise in popularity and the evolution and growth of AI and open AI and chat GPT, I already knew this was going to be a problem for YouTube because advertisers are already kind of bummed out about viewers and their ads and their ad spend and the recession and the economy and actually connecting with potential conversions for their money being spent and invested in these ads on these videos that people aren't watching because they're listening or even dozing off and falling asleep to them, which is why meditation channels have been demonetized or at least receive very little ad revenue from ad suitability, yellow dollar signs in the earn tab on monetization for the video. But also because there was definitely going to be and will be a rise in automated content creation and duplication because of OpenAI and ChatGPT and Bard and any other artificial intelligence virtual avatar, virtual character creation. That's going to happen. But the other thing is, we know there's a problem with bots in the comments. So in order for a comment to be left, a video has to be seen. Therefore, view counts could be misrepresented because of the bots. Therefore, advertisers are saying, look, I see this video's got 1 million views, but we didn't get any conversions because most of these views came from bots infiltrating the algorithm to drop their comments, their scams, or WhatsApp, text me, or whatever. Invest with such and such. Make $35,000 a day. Yeah. So advertisers are upset, but advertisers keep this platform going because without the advertisers, the creators would pull back. And without the creators, the advertisers don't have an audience. But the biggest problem is that now the advertisers and the algorithm and YouTube and everybody associated is looking at it as not only are our ads not being seen, but we're being charged for them. And the only views we're getting are from other bots. AI watching AI. And guess what? AI ain't buying. So this is a problem. This is a problem. And I think this goes into why we're seeing such a drastic change in viewership and views being counted and tallied, because YouTube is actually working on some new filtration system to figure out which views are real and which views are fake. But based on how successful YouTube has been in the past of controlling the bots and the fake views, I don't think they're going to be very successful in this. And ultimately, the result is just a drastic reduction in overall views. I meant to say this earlier. If you're not interested in anything that I have to say about YouTube, content creation, monetization, guns, 2A, or any of this stuff, no need to watch, and also no need to comment negatively, because I already know the comments that are probably going to come in at this point. It's, oh, it's Kevin again. Woe is me. I'm not making enough money on YouTube, ad revenue, yada, yada, yada. You know, come on, guys. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than me. It's about understanding, better educating yourself, knowing what's going on, and planning and preparing moving forward so that you can continue to thrive and progress and succeed, okay? We've all faced challenges in our lives, in our personal and professional business up until this point, and we're always going to continuously face more moving forward. But it's only those who actually try to do better that will actually succeed, and the rest will fall by the wayside. They will be wiped out. They will be the ones begging on street corners, holding signs, waiting for the government to provide them with a handout. Not I. So, the official YouTube blog states that it has an updated approach to eating disorder-related content. This was released April 18th by Dr. Garth Graham, director and head of YouTube Health. And it says that YouTube is updating our approach to eating disorder-related content to create space for community recovery and resources while protecting viewers. I'm going to try to go through this quickly because, quite frankly, it's boring. It's boring. But I think you need to read it and hear it to understand what's happening based on a lot of what I've already just told you leading up to this point. And it says that mental health issues like eating disorders can be isolating and stigmatizing for people around the world. YouTube is an important platform for raising awareness and understanding of eating disorders from a variety of perspectives, and we want to empower creators to continue to share their stories. Because people come to our platform with unique experiences, the same video can affect people in different ways. A video about a creator's eating disorder recovery journey can help start an essential conversation for some that makes them feel less alone, but may be triggering for others. This is especially true if it includes specifics about disordered behaviors. So let's just break that down real quick, and let me touch back on why I decided to reduce my subscriber count. Sorry. A lot of things going on in this head here, but the VSO gun channel If he's only getting 10,000 views and he's got 310,000 subscribers, that means that his content's not being pushed or his subscribers aren't interested anymore. But either way, you're not getting the views. So what are you going to do? Well, in my particular situation, I'm trying to manipulate my subscriber count to eliminate all of those that YouTube deems potentially triggered, and that they don't want to see my content, and lose those subscribers so that I can gain more of the subscribers who do want to see my content and the content that YouTube wants to be promoted, so that I can then increase my reach. Besides that, honestly, unless you have external driving factors and forces like email lists, Facebook posts, TikTok shares, or anything like that driving traffic to your channel and specifically your video, you may be at a disadvantage. And I can show you numerous channels with various subscriber counts that are seeing interesting average view counts. And I can show you the date of which this actually started. And I believe it has a lot to do with what we're about to discuss here right now. YouTube is trying to take this leftist approach to controlling what people see and what they think by either what is shown to them or what is never shared with them. So me personally, granted, everyone's going to have a different parenting style. I know that there are some parents out there that would prefer that their children be shielded and sheltered and have most of the real world hidden from their children. I'm not necessarily the complete opposite, where I want my child to experience everything, but I damn sure don't want them to come into a situation that they're completely unfamiliar with and lack the common sense and basic street skills and survival skills to push through without knowing everything, if that makes sense. So to withhold information is almost as bad as providing the wrong information, if you ask me. And this is why typically we have conversations as a family. And if the kid wants to say, hey, what does that mean? What are you talking about? That's perfectly fine. But also I've realized that over time, she's picked up on it. And in certain situations, I can see it actively working for her, even though she's maybe has never said anything, because she's been exposed. She's not stupid. She's not that naive. Granted, she's young. She's got a lot to learn. But I feel pretty good about the direction that she's going. But because people come to our platform with unique experiences, the same video can affect people in different ways. Yada, yada, yada. This is especially true if it includes specifics about disorders, and a video about a creator's eating disorder recovery journey can help start an essential conversation for some that makes them feel less alone. Cool. But it may also trigger for others. Bad. Conversation, good. Trigger, bad. So what do? In the coming weeks, YouTube will be updating our approach to eating disorder related content, informed by third-party experts in a way that we believe creates space for community, recovery, and resources while continuing to protect viewers. We work with the experts such as National Eating Disorder Association, NEDA, and Asociación de Lucha contra la Bulimia y la Anorexia, which I believe is Spanish, ALUBA, to develop a comprehensive framework that involves expanding the scope of our community guidelines, age restricting certain videos, and surfacing crisis resources panels under videos discussing eating disorders. Now, this is eating disorders, but they literally just said that they're going to age restrict certain videos about eating disorders based on the fact that it could potentially help start a conversation, make people feel less alone, but also at the same time make other people feel triggered. Therefore, the creator gets dinged. They won't be able to make money. No monetization with age-restricted videos. Limited reach when you get age-restricted. This is worse than a yellow dollar sign, because age-restricted means it's a red dollar sign. So yeah, no monetization whatsoever. Limited reach. And also, the viewers out there that could potentially use this information are going to have a much harder time finding it. Because for the 90% that it's really going to help, the 10% that it could potentially trigger, nah, we want to make sure that they don't see it. Updating our policies on eating disorder related content We've long had policies to remove content that glorifies or promotes eating disorders. Moving forward, we'll be updating our community guidelines to also prohibit content about eating disorders that features imitatable behavior or behavior that we work with experts to determine can lead at-risk viewers to imitate. And this could include videos that show or describe disordered eating behavior such as purging after eating or severely restricting calories, weight-based bullying in the context of eating disorders. And how does this tie into 2A gun content, the VSO gun channel, and other gun channels out there? Gun channels that I have seen put in tons of money, time, resources, capital, investing in the content that they create only to be suppressed and limited. Their subscriber count shows just how good they are, but their views do not. Their revenue and compensation doesn't even come close from YouTube. Now, granted, third-party paid promotion, sponsorships, great opportunities, but YouTube is putting an end to that as well because you can't backlink out of YouTube because you'll get dinged. And if it goes to a website that they don't deem as responsible and actually sells gun products or gun parts or gun accessories, you could possibly get your channel deleted as well. And here's the big problem. They have policies that remove the content that glorifies or promotes eating disorders, and they also have the policies that removes content that glorifies or promotes guns. The safe practice and use of guns, the proper installation of parts and products and accessories, proper training. Moving forward, we'll be updating our community guidelines to also prohibit content about eating disorders that feature imitatable behavior or behavior that we work with experts to determine can lead at-risk viewers to imitate. I mean, we can just reread this and say that moving forward, we'll be updating our community guidelines to also prohibit content about guns and featuring imitatable behavior. Is that sinking in? Or determine or behavior that we work with experts to determine can lead to at-risk viewers to imitate that involve guns. I'm only counting down the seconds until that next article is released on this YouTube official blog that points out how these channels are going to be completely eliminated and wiped out from the platform. In developing the new policies, we work closely with NEDA and other groups to enhance understanding of what constitutes imitatable behavior, how it can show up in content, and how it can impact vulnerable viewers. Context will be key when it comes to this often nuanced content, and that's why our approach relies on product features in addition to policies. Videos that are centered on eating disorder recovery or include sufficient educational documentary, scientific, or artistic content (EDSA) may receive an age restriction and or a crisis resource panel. So this is similar to like the nude content on YouTube that, yeah, if you want, you can find completely nude content on YouTube, but because it was educational and artistic, it was allowed. It's cool, but it was age restricted. But age restricted just means no monetization. So beware, be prepared. If a lot of your income or all of your income is tied to your YouTube content creation that falls into the category of eating disorders or even 2A gun content, you need to understand what they're telling you. The writing is on the wall. They're coming for you, okay? Age restricting certain videos about eating disorders and content that contains EDSA or discusses disordered eating behaviors in the context of recovery may still not be suitable for all ages. So we're introducing age restrictions on certain content about eating disorders. As a result, some videos will not be available to viewers under 18 if you're signed out, or if the video is embedded on another website. For example, we may age restrict videos where a creator details disordered eating behaviors they've engaged in while sharing their recovery journey. We developed this age restriction approach for eating disorder related videos in consultation with third-party experts to strike the right balance in our continuing efforts to protect younger viewers from content that they may be more susceptible to imitating than adults. As with all our community guideline updates, the age restrictions will take some time to fully ramp up, so you may not see them right away. this implementation process is where we're going to see a lot of gray area. We're going to see a lot of glitches. We're going to see a lot of problems. Okay. Interestingly enough, they even go here to say that, they're trying to continue efforts to protect younger viewers from content that they may be more susceptible to imitating than adults. And I just got done watching a video from Black Conservative Perspective where he was sharing his experience on an airplane with a screaming baby behind him and how he acted in comparison to another grown man on a different flight who was caught on video losing his mind because it was a screaming baby behind him. And he's an adult. I don't know if this is the problem is, younger age groups versus adults more susceptible to imitating the behaviors, besides the fact that people are just uneducated. They're out of control. They're lacking what we really need, which is open dialogue, discussion, communication, discipline, not restrictions, not shadow banning, not suppression. So either way, I'm not going to finish reading this article because, like I said, it's kind of boring. But I did want to point out that this is what's going on. This is what I think is happening. This is what I think will happen in the future. And I feel as though I think I'm on the right track, because I feel like if I can manipulate my audience, my subscriber base, to eliminate and wipe out and wash out all those who are not super interested in the content that I want to share and the content that I see that YouTube will push, they are only going to further hold me back and suppress me from being able to reach maximum viral possibilities. I will continue to create more content, different content on different channels and other platforms, including Patreon and Rumble and others, as I try to create this comprehensive full circle plan of diversity, security, cash flow, you guys know, and prepare myself for the changes that are coming to the platform, to the algorithm, that will be imposed on creators, good, bad, or indifferent. But I do think that there's still opportunity for growth. I do still think there's opportunity for success. YouTube is like a $30 billion a year company, industry. And I don't think that they're looking to purposely reduce that. They're only, businesses are trying to solve problems and evolve. Now, granted, how they go about it may not necessarily be the same way I would go about it, but I understand, the game. And if you want to win, you need to know the rules of how to play the game most effectively to the best of your abilities. And that's essentially what I'm trying to do. So, no, I'm not going to make gun content because I already know the path that it's going down. No, I'm going to try to hold back from making other content that could potentially be misconstrued by the algorithm and whatever human component may even exist, because much like the AI is causing a problem for creators and YouTube and advertisers, it causes a problem for YouTube as well, because they're the ones, AI programming are the ones that are doing most of the reviews. Honestly, it would be physically impossible and extremely expensive to try to have a human analyzing the unbelievable amounts of data, video files and footage that's continuously uploaded every single minute on YouTube, which is unbelievable. I don't know how they store all this and not charge you for it, which they do actually. They charge the creators 55 to 45%, depending on the split, shorts versus long form. But, I understand that. So if I want to continuously connect and grow and progress, then I have to make the necessary adjustments with my business and my marketing approach, my strategies, so that I don't get blocked out. I don't get locked out. I don't get suppressed. I don't get shadow banned. I don't get demonetized. I don't get deleted. And I think it can work. And I think it can work and still deliver the message. You just got to know how to do it. I've seen a fair amount of subscribers lost here recently, which is, I think, is a good thing, because I'm moving away from what isn't working and towards what I believe is. While also, as I see the drop, I then see a plateau, and then I see an uptick. So we can look at it like the economy. You know, the economy's good. Economy's good. Then we have the pandemic. The economy's kind of shaky. Then we have government intervention. The economy goes up. Then we have change in administration, pullback on stimulus, higher interest rates. Economy goes down. And then we are at rock bottom, where a lot of people are not prepared to be. We're hitting this recession, and then we're going to come back out. It's cyclical, you know, peaks and valleys, ebb and flow. We're going to come back out. And that's what I'm experiencing. Posting content it's kind of like you dress for the job you want, not the job you have. So I post the content that I know is going to change my subscribers. And then it levels out. The riffraff is gone. And then it starts picking back up again. Hopefully also in a direction that aligns with YouTube's change in policy guidelines. And also evergreen. Evergreen is key, folks. I was making a lot of content on breaking news, happening now, which has a shelf life and goes stale very, very quickly. But making more content focused on continuations of growth and success, basic philosophies and principles that are the groundwork and foundation for achieving your goals, those don't go stale quite as quickly. So the evergreen content, especially now, if I'm looking back, evergreen content's winning. Content getting ranked in search is winning. Even though a lot of people say search was dead, search is winning hard. If you ask me, search is winning hard, okay? Search drives up CPM, search drives up views, search drives up retention, search drives up subscribers, like good subscribers, okay? And the only way search works is with evergreen content. The breaking, urgent, time's running out, short-lived, okay? Maybe get a little burst, maybe not. Not to mention, it was draining on me to even make that content. So now it's more of a focus on content that's going to help me grow, but I can share with you guys as well, and hopefully it does the same. And so moving away from that, and the evergreen content also produces the opportunity for passive income because it will continuously get views. I can show you guys channels where videos are 5+ years old, continuously getting views to today. Use vidIQ, use TubeBuddy, use whatever plugin you want to use. You can see this, and it's far more beneficial long-term. And even Ryan Trahan, as we sat and listened to his keynote last year at Vid Summit, he said that he's moved on to redemptive work, creating less for 2023 and 2024 and beyond, and getting more out of it in return than he did in 2021 and 2022. And it's all based on evergreen content. But it's content with substance, with value, with a connection of people who not only want to see what you have to share and hear what you have to say and learn from you and enjoy the experience of having these conversations and discussions, but also it's got to align with the algorithm to get pushed and promoted and ranked in search. Eating disorders, probably not. Gun content, probably not. Political content, probably not. Seeing some major changes happening. Conspiracy theory content, probably not. So with that being said, folks, the VSO Gun Channel has some really good information. His other platforms will probably have even better information because he knows he can't share that information on YouTube. The lawmakers, the leaders, the politicians, the people who decide what actually happens, unfortunately, don't have their heads in the right place for the most part, in my opinion, and it's only getting worse. We shouldn't be silenced. but we do have to understand and realize the platform for which we are trying to speak from. So we have to figure out the best way to mitigate and manage this impending crisis of a situation that's developing. But I think we can only do that if we work together.